welcome to today's reading where we're going to be asking what you need to know right now, what you're missing, and pick up on anything that might need to be examined that's being looked over. So for group 1, we have the swords, completion with number 28. For group number 2, we have the high priestess, and that's number 22. And for group 3, we have the chariot, and that's number 18. So if you want to take a moment to see which one feels right for you, and then we'll get started. Okay, so if you chose group number 1, swords completion, we'll get started. And I did pre-shuffle some oracle cards to pick up on the main energy of your reading, and that way you can see if this reading resonates with you, and if it's the right reading for you. And if it's not, if it feels like it doesn't fit, then you can try a different group or a different reading. Okay, so first we have swords completion, which in the traditional tarot that would stand for the Ten of Swords. And this card really represents someone that has gone through immense hardship, has experienced grief, and is in a lot of pain, emotional pain. They may have been somehow deceived, or there's something where this person feels like they've really been done wrong by a situation or a person in their lives, or maybe some kind of communication. We also have air, number 28, and the air element has to do with communication, logic, and air signs, and it kind of plays into the whole idea that this has something to do with communication to me. That's just what I'm picking up on, is that this is a situation that there's some kind of miscommunication, or somebody is not willing to cooperate, where you or possibly another person is, or a situation is just at like a standstill. As you can see in this image, the bird is just standing like in this swamp and looks like it's unable to move. And I feel like the energy I'm picking up on in this read is that this is someone who's holding on to something that is not working, and they keep trying to fight the current, where maybe the other person or the other end of the situation you're dealing with, it's not going to go in the way that you originally thought it would, or your ideal. And so you just feel like you're at a standstill. It could be the other person too, but that's just how I'm interpreting it. And we also have here it's like acronym cards, but it's let others' visions exist, love. So I think this is kind of like whatever is on the other end of what's possibly made you feel like you've been stabbed in the back, deceived, you're hurt, you're grieving something that feels very hard to deal with. Um, where I feel like it's saying, in order for you to move on and away from this standstill and being like stuck in the mud, unable to move forward since this sword's completion moment has happened, that it might be time to try to be more open to letting others' vision exist too, even if it seems far from your original plan and even if it's hard to let go of. And we also have an affirmation card, number 22, I am transformed. And it says, I see the beauty of change. Everything I've been through transformed me into who I am today. I am so much braver, so much more caring. I am so much more emotionally intelligent. I am so much more open. I will continue changing and improving. I am transformed. So I think like the key words here are that you are so much more emotionally intelligent, and the key is to be more open to this situation like playing out not in a way that like you fought for. And I feel like you may have put a lot of energy into like trying to make this situation happen, if it's at work, a relationship, whatever, where it's just like to the point where you are heartbroken and devastated that you realize this is not going to work and you feel stuck. But the best thing to remember is that you are emotionally capable, and you do have the ability to be open to change, even if it's not, of course, what you fought for and hoped for. And I think that this nature card, it represents like getting out into nature, and I think that it's showing up in this reading because I think it's important in order to find openness to get distracted away from something that is so consuming as whatever you might be dealing with. And getting in nature helps you be mindful and stay in the moment and stay in the present. So I think for you to be able to open up these like mental pathways and doorways to being able to accept that this other person's vision was different than yours in the end and it didn't work out no matter how much you put in. Yeah, I just feel like getting away from that energy and getting in this like grounding, colorful, nurturing environment, um, that's what you need right now, and that you're probably aware of that too. So that's kind of the energy I'm picking up on. Someone who is struggling to let go of something that was devastating and very destructive in their lives, and that they feel stuck and they're having trouble getting grounded so that they can be open to making changes happen, and also being open to like the way other people might want to live their life that's so different than what you thought, or that you understand, and that might be keeping you stuck um, in a grieving cycle. So if that seems like it resonates and it makes sense to your situation, your life, then we'll get started with tarot and just get more information. Okay, so group 1, what are they afraid of letting go of that is causing them to have all this grief right now? For group number 1, how can they move on and get out of this immobile, stuck place that they're in? Okay. Temperance, Hierophant. Ten of Swords again. That's the same card. Wow. Okay. Okay. Pile. Group 1. How do they let go and get unstuck from this situation? Okay, so I feel like there's some kind of lack of balance where a part of you needs to be grounded in the material, concrete world, but you also need to just trust in kind of the laws of the universe, in that what will happen, and we only have so much control over what happens, especially with other people. And with the Hierophant, I'm reading this as like a need to learn from the past hurt and pain, because we have the Ten of Swords here and the Ten of Swords here, and the Hierophant can be about learning or being a teacher. And so I think that one way to get grounded and feel in control a little bit for you in this situation, if this is like making sense for you, is that you can feel good that you do know from your past you can be your own teacher, and this doesn't have to happen again, so you don't have to stay still if you're worried about moving forward. And the Page of Cups is also someone who is young energy, learner, and the cups are in the realm of like emotions, relationships, and creativity. And I think you need to get curious, like look down and see what you find there, and try to become a learner emotionally. Like, you don't have to be stuck in this still. You can still, sorry, you can still have a fresh start, and you can still learn new things that are positive and not always these painful lessons. And with the King of Cups, I feel that the Page of Cups, being curious, allowing yourself to be more open to different scenarios happening for you in your life, that this is going to create a lot of emotional stability, emotional maturity, and it's going to help you to not feel like you got deceived and like, you know, like ripped off, which if you did, I'm really sorry, but it's just going to help you to move on from that and not feel like so stuck with like in grief and sadness and pain. And let's see what else. What advice for group number 1 to help them move forward for group number 1? The chariot. So that's about moving forward, weighing your options, looking at both directions to decide the best way to go. So maybe you just need to reevaluate some things one step at a time. It doesn't need to be like everything decided at once, but just one step at a time. So that way you can come to a decision on which path to go. And then I think once that happens, it will, you'll be rapidly on your way to where you need to be. And I don't think you're gonna be like around. Why is the 5 of Swords? Let me just make sure. King of Swords. Yeah, so whatever kind of shaky communication you dealt with in the past, you can go forward with the tools that you've learned from this situation, and you're going to be able to compose yourself a lot better. And you also need to realize that you do have the power within yourself to take this approach. Advice for group 1, please. Yeah, it's really asking you to move on. If this is like a group or a person, if this is a group or person that's caused this pain, it's really like it's time to move on. Like there's so many swords in this reading too, which doesn't necessarily mean bad, but I just think there's so much deep, deep layered communication problems, and where you need to just move on. Like talk to people that you trust. Or if you don't have people you trust, find, you know, like resources online where you can find people who are going through similar things to try to find insight, or like relatability, and that can help you move forward to get away from this. Because if you're still dealing with um, this person, then it's definitely like, if it's unhealthy and you keep trying to make it work and you're still getting the same negative, heavy, and dark results every time, then it's okay to let that other person's version exist, which is something that does not have the light that you have. And it's okay to move on from people that want to stay in those dark places, and it's okay to move on from that. And let me just One more deck. Sorry, guys. Okay. And we'll get some final words of encouragement. For group one, any words of encouragement for them in moving on from this situation? Identify and remove toxic people around you. So that was kind of my feeling. Maybe not for everyone, because this is a general reading where a lot of people may see it. And but if it is about someone that is unhealthy or toxic, like definitely don't keep trying to like make it work, because you know you can't change people, and sometimes letting others' visions exist, just that is their vision, is they're in a toxic place and you can't change anyone, unfortunately, as hard as and painful as that is. Be your own guide. Like, don't rely on this person to meet you or your communication or your needs. And you do have the power to be open to a different scenario for your life, and you do have the power to move away from people that are not treating you right. And we'll get one more. I am powerful and loved. Exactly. You are powerful and loved. And if you are dealing with anyone who's not treating you right, please reach out. Do not think that you can change someone like that. And don't waste your mental health, your energy, your precious time on someone that's just not willing to meet you halfway. And that's the main feeling from this reading, after pulling all the cards. So I really wish you the best, group one. I'm so sorry if you are dealing with any kind of situation like this. And if this reading was helpful, please give a like, comment. I would love to hear any input from people who watch and find this helpful, or any other comments. But thank you, and I hope you guys stay safe. Okay, thanks. Hi, Pile 2. Welcome to today's reading where we're going to be asking, what do you need to know right now? What are you not seeing or missing? And just anything to kind of think about. I did start out with some pre-shuffled oracle cards to pick up on the main energy of this reading, so that way you can see if this is the right one for you, or if not, you can pick a different group or a different reading. Okay, so this is the High Priestess for group number 2. So first we have Grounded number 22. And then we have Security. Mirrors. Follow Your Bliss. I Am Worthy. Actually, put this here. And acronym cards, Joy. Just open yourself. Okay. Okay, pile 2. So first we have the High Priestess. And with Grounded and Security, I feel that this reading is talking about someone um, who feels disconnected from their sense of knowing what feels like the right thing to do. And they are not in touch with maybe their normal good sense of intuition about people, situations, and the like. And they're struggling to feel grounded, secure, might have anxiety, might feel scatterbrained, or like just not in tune with themselves or their own version of like spirituality or their connection with themselves. Um, with Mirrors and Follow Your Bliss, it's like, it seems like there may be someone who has either done or said things that made you question your good sense or your common sense, um, who is like shaken up your life, where you are very anxious and are having trouble just like staying grounded, staying like calm in everyday life, and feel they're in the dark and not feeling secure just in their day-to-day lives. And that's because someone has said things that were actually reflections of themselves and projections of their own problems. And with Follow Your Bliss, I feel like it's like whatever anyone else says, unless like you're really doing something shady, or if like hopefully if you're like in the wrong or not. But like if someone is like saying things and being criticizing you or making you feel bad, putting you down in even subtle ways, like just follow your bliss. Like be open to people that you feel accepted by, and find your joy, the joy that you are able to experience by opening the parts of yourself that are true to you, because whatever criticisms you're getting, I feel like is somebody else's insecurity and somebody else's reflection that they're placing upon you. And you also got I am worthy, number 16, and it says, I am enough and I am worthy of receiving everything I desire. I do not need to prove myself to those who would seek to diminish me. I am worthy. So if there's something like you want to try to do, or like a dream you have, or like, I don't know, maybe you're like a passionate person and you have ideas but it gets put down, or I'm not sure because it's a general reading, but I think the general meaning of this reading is like, um, somebody who feels put down, disconnected from themselves, questioning their own intuition, and feeling very anxious, insecure, ungrounded because there's something or someone, um, who is throwing you off path and making you question things when really it is their own reflection that they're casting back on you. And a big need to put yourself out there and know that you're worthy and what you would want to do. So that's a general feeling. If that feels like it fits with your situation, I'll move on to the tarot. If it doesn't, you can try another group or a different reading. That's what I am picking up on. So, okay. So for group 2, what do they need to know right now about this situation where they are not able to trust themselves or their own intuition? What is the advice for them to overcome this and protect their energy? The Hermit, Page of Wands, Wheel of Fortune, there. For group 2, okay, so we have the Hermit, the Page of Wands, or the Page of Rods, the Wheel of Fortune, the Nine of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, and Ace of Swords. So I feel like the advice in this situation is that take some time to go within yourself, so that way you can reassess and be open. Page of Wands is about like a younger energy, who is curious it's fire energy, it's passion, it's curiosity, it's adventure. And so I feel in order for you to find your sense of adventure in whatever situation you're in with this, where your worthiness has been taken or messed with, um, that it really is just going to take like um, keeping your self protection. So if you're around someone who is criticizing you a lot, then you should protect yourself by not being around them or not sharing things with them if you know that they're um, going to be negative, like without good reason. Like sometimes our best friends are the ones that will tell us the truth when we need to hear it. But in this case, this is more like someone who's just like negative and reflecting and projecting on you. So some people aren't going to understand, like, if it's not their vision, they're not going to understand why you want to do it. So I feel the time has come with the Wheel of Fortune, to start new again and just like start from scratch. Remember all that you have put in so far with the Nine of Pentacles, and enjoy what you have created so far, even if it's just like your ideas or your accomplishments. Like, don't let anyone take that away from you, and enjoy that alone time where you can reflect and absorb the positivity outside and become adventurous. Don't let anyone take away your sense of adventure and curiosity. Um, Everybody has different chapters and seasons in their life. And if you're trying to start a new one, um, this I see like with the Ace of Swords, it's like insight, like um, a moment of clarity. And having this alone time with the Nine of Pentacles and the Hermit, you will have more clarity to feel worthy, open. Okay, sorry. Yeah, with this alone time, I feel like you're gonna have this new clarity, which is gonna help start this new chapter where you're gonna be able to move forward with what you know is right in your heart to do, without worrying about anyone emotionally taking from you or being toxic. So how can they feel worthy in this situation? Get a few more cards. So Knight of Cups, Seven of Rods or Wands, Five of Cups, and Seven of Pentacles. So I think you need to like stand your ground. Like if someone is coming at you and catches you off guard, um, it's going to like throw you off probably, but I think these cards encourage you to focus on what you're growing in the material world, in your project or whatever you're going for, and to move swiftly to protect your emotions. So if someone comes at you and it's unfounded, I mean, nobody should come at you, but then it's saying like one way to shield yourself from like feeling like your emotional cups are always being knocked over and spilled is to just like swiftly put up boundaries and refocus. And then I'm going to get a few of these affirmation cards. Okay, for group 2, some advice going forward on how to deal with this situation. Quit your mind. It's okay for me to cry when I need to. I don't have to fit in. I know my soul is truly beautiful. So it's like, quiet your mind. Don't keep replaying the same negative things. It's okay for you to cry when you need to release those thoughts and feelings. And you don't have to fit into what other people want you to be and that stop you from your goals. And you know that your soul is truly beautiful, and that's what matters at the end of the day. So this has been your reading. I hope it was helpful. If it was, or if it was relatable, please like, comment, subscribe. I would love to hear if this like made sense. So thanks, guys. So today we're going to be asking, what do you need to know right now? What are you not seeing? What are some things to think about? So we'll get started, and I did pre-shuffle some oracle cards, so we can just get an idea of the energy of this spread and see if it's the right reading for you. If not, you can try another group, or you can also try another reading if it doesn't fit for your situation. So first we have the chariot, and the chariot represents a time to decide on direction and action. We have the water element, number 18, and with water, we're talking about emotions, um, intuition, fast movement. And then we have the card truth. And then we have the card the journey. We have an affirmation card, I am still, and it says, I understand that there are times to move and there are times to be still. In my stillness, I seek greater understanding. I take time to rest and contemplate. I strive for unconditional happiness here in the present. I am still. Okay. And then we have these acronym cards, and this one says real, ride evolution and learn. Okay, so the feeling I get with this group is someone who is in a situation where they are so fueled to move, make a change, make a decision in the direction that they want to go in. And I think that it's being fueled by emotions. And I think that this pile represents someone who is kind of like in a flight type of response where they're wanting to move and follow a path or make a decision on which direction to go in without knowing the full truth, or without looking at the full picture, so that way they can make an informed decision on which path to take. And then we have the journey and I am still. And with this affirmation card kind of being about finding the positivity in stillness and not moving and not feeling like you're progressing, or you feel maybe stuck in a certain place or situation. But with the journey, it's kind of saying like, look, there's still like value in the stillness, and even if you're not in movement and you have this like drive to move and push forward even without like the most sturdy plan maybe, um that there's still value in this time in your life, and that part of um getting to the place you actually want to be at is by accepting this wisdom in the stillness, in the in-between time of movement. And with real, right, evolution and learn, I feel like it's just saying like, learn from all the different aspects in life and all the different lessons. um, Even if you, I just feel like this group is all about wanting to make quick movements, make a quick turn in their path or movement, um, and having to fight that current. So if that sounds like it resonates with you, then we'll move on to the tarot cards. Okay, so for group 3, please. What do they need to know right now to get them through this period of wanting to move quickly away from their situation and needing to take time to evaluate and be still in order to find the truth in the right path that they need to take? What advice for them, please. For group 3. What advice for them? Okay. Okay, so with the advice for group 3, I think it's saying that there will be new overflowing of love, happiness, and new happy emotional beginnings, or even possibly in love. But I think it's really saying, like, with the Seven of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune. By the way, if you're called to group number 2, I would suggest checking that one out too, because they might be related, because I do see some overlap here. But anyways, with the Seven of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune, I feel like it's really just the advice is that it's not logically time to make a quick move or decision on a different path to take right now, because you have like planted your seeds, but it's not ready for harvest, and you're still watching until your harvest is going to be ready, because you need it and you need to make a move, but it's just not there yet. And with the Seven of Cups, I see, like, I just imagine like someone who's trying to think of all these different options to try to like bypass this waiting time of the harvest, the crop not being ready, or like whatever maybe financially is holding you back from making like a good change or change of path for yourself. And that's how I'm seeing the Wheel of Fortune too, is that it's just not time. If this resonates for you, maybe not for everyone, but if that seems right, then I would say this spread is recommending time to stop and go within, so that way you can make the right decision on the direction. Because if you go the wrong direction without thinking, you may end up just like crashing and burning. Like the Knight of Wands or the Knight of Rods is like a very quick, impulsive, fast moving, passionate. So I see like you wanting to move in passionately, and this could even be like for a lot of you actually with the Ace of Cups and the Lovers. It could be like making a decision towards like a potential partner, or someone you've had a past with maybe, and you're like wanting to rekindle. I don't know, like this is not a love or relationship reading, but that could be the case for some of you where you want to jump into making a decision to like maybe be with someone, or but yeah, I just feel like the timing is not there. And if this is not love related for you, then I would say the lovers is more about like you yourself. You need to like fill your own cup and find balance within your own self-love and acceptance before you're going to be able to make a good decision about which direction to take. And so I feel this spread is really saying to take caution in making any rash decisions with big decisions or changes in path. And of course, take tarot readings with a grain of salt. Like if it's something where like you need to get out of a situation, sometimes we do have to make like those rash, quick decisions for our safety or for a number of different reasons. But if it's a situation where it's more maybe just like emotionally impulsively charged, which I totally understand. Like, I think it's just saying to really take a step back. Like, if it's meant for you, like, it's not going to just disappear if you take a reasonable amount of time to make a decision. Like, don't wait forever either. But that's what I'm seeing with this one. Because you want to make the right decision before making such a bold change in direction. Yeah. Get a few more tarot cards actually. Okay, any more advice from tarot with ways that they can come to like a better clarity or decision before moving forward action wise? Any things to consider? Any other things to consider before moving forward? The things to consider, I would say it's like don't try to take any shortcuts. Don't be trying to take before things are ready and ripe. Like don't take the fruit off the tree before it's ripe, or it's just going to be bitter and a waste. And I feel with a little bit of patience and a little bit of nurturing yourself and like finding that happy middle ground of like being grounded and passionate at the same time, like I think you'll be able to like come to a healthy and responsible decision for yourself and anybody involved, if there is anybody else involved. And then we're going to get a few more affirmation cards to wrap up your reading. And I hope this has been helpful. I know it's not always like exactly what you want to hear when you're just filled with like passion and the need to like go, especially if you feel like you need to get out of something. But it's good to try to find the middle ground with that. Okay, so for pile group number 3, any final advice for their situation? I release all negative energy. My heart is open to love. I feel like for a lot of you guys, this actually has to do with like some kind of relationship, either an old relationship that you're trying to like make work again, or somebody new that you might not know well enough that might be moving fast, because it's like you want to move fast out of scarcity, or like if I don't move now, it's like not going to be there. But yeah, I feel there is a middle ground to be had with all of that. Okay, one more for group 3. Enjoy the now. Exactly. Enjoy the period you're in right now, which is taking the time to decide the right path to go. Like, don't try to take from things before it's ready. Find things to do that can help you strengthen like the place that you do want to end up in. That way, if you rush into something or somewhere, by the time you get there, you can actually have all the things that you need and all the tools you need in order to make that work. Because if you just rush into it without knowing what you're getting into, like, you're not going to have all the tools, you're not going to know what to do, and it could just all end up being a much bigger problem. Um, so that's what I see in your reading. I hope it was helpful. Please let me know in the comments if it was, or yeah, like, subscribe. I appreciate all of that. And let me know other readings you might want to hear in the future. So good luck to you guys. And I totally know, like, if this did, if you found this relatable, I totally understand that feeling. And it can be hard to have patience when you just are fueled by the need to move. So keep yourself busy, keep yourself like focused on your goal, while also being realistic with what can work and not work in this moment in time. And everything can always change. So, okay, thank you guys.